First question. Getting permission to wear number 8.
Yep.
Was that a conversation with Marcus? I played with Marcus for a year in Tennessee and then a year in Vegas. He put us
DeMarco
on.
Murray as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I was after DeMarco.
Oh, after, okay.
He put us on Sushi Pure last night for a spot to eat. As he said that was his favorite.
I've got
Marcus
put
said that
on
was his
there
favorite
too.
spot. But what was it like?
Purple rice.
Yeah.
Purple rice. It's a real deal.
Getting permission from him to wear number 8, was that an ordeal, or was that just a simple conversation?
It was an ordeal. I think it was just more out of respect. Coming from the islands, like, he's the guy we, kind of looked up to, and he kind of set the stage for all the quarterbacks coming up. Not only quarterbacks, players in general. And, I wore 8 at Oklahoma. But once I came here, I kind of told Coach, I was like, hey, out of respect, I'll probably wear, a new number or something like that. And then, I don't know, just kind of rethought it. Coach Lanning said something cool about how special that would be, and ended up texting him. And then next thing you know, just said, hey, could I wear it? Want to get his okay. And then once I did, it's special. So.
He was like, Marcus was the guy, I bet, when you're coming up watching him play at Oregon. Yeah,
huge.
You had him, you had Teo.
Yep, we had Manti, him, DeForest Buckner, who played here. Kind of a lot. Even, Hawaii guys as well, kind of who we, looked up at But all in all, Marcus was definitely the, head honcho. So
take us through your recruiting journey. You've obviously had a fascinating one. You've bounced around. I want to say I was reading when were you committed to Army?
I was.
Committed to Army, go visit somewhere else, decommit. You visit a couple schools, I think bigger schools, and then end up at UCF.
Yep.
Talk about your recruiting journey coming out of high school.
Yeah, so coming out, I didn't have anything really. I had the 3 academies and University of Hawaii. Just wanted to, try something new and go off the island. So funny enough, Jeff Monken, who's the head coach at Army and who still is, was my dad's GA at the University of Hawaii when he was playing quarterback. Coach Kenny Niumatalolo was my dad's backup, and Paul Johnson was my dad's OC. So the triple option, my dad was all around it. But that connection kind of happened. I visited Army, ended up committing in the summer prior to my senior year. Then kind of season went on. I love this story, but I remember watching a game in Army only threw it 3 times, and I just looked at my dad and I was like, man, I think I really want to throw the ball and play ball a different way. So ended up decommitting, kind of like towards the back end of my senior year of high school, and then oddly enough things just started firing off, and everyone jokes around they think it's because there's a passing record in Hawaii, and I ended up beating Tua. And Georgia obviously was playing Bama. And another full circle moment, Coach Lanning was at Georgia. But Georgia offered me UCF and USC. And kind of went on those 3 visits right before that December signing day. And all 3 of them said, hey, you got to be here in January. And I really wasn't prepared for that. So I ended up taking, 4 online classes within a 2-week period, signed with UCF, and then I was there on January 3rd. So it all happened really fast. I'm blessed and very happy it did, but definitely a funny time in my life.
Yeah. Was there friction when you were decommitting from Army with your old man?
There wasn't. They're family, and they always will be. Just with that connection with my dad, and then Coach Sean Saturnio, he's another guy that I still keep in contact with, who's just been, really that guy who's also come from Hawaii and tries to look out for Hawaii players. So when I had that, I was, not bugged at all. They're very kind, and obviously knew that I was going to go play at a different school.
Why UCF over Georgia and USC?
At the time, I just wanted to play. I've always kind of put that at the forefront of what I want to do. I want to go play the game. That's what I love to do. And, not saying I couldn't have played at Georgia or USC. It's just at the time UCF was having open competition. And I was like, hey, as long as I got a shot or a chance, like an opportunity, then I'm going to go make it happen. And at the time, Justin Fields and Jake Fromm were still at Georgia. JT Daniels was still a freshman at USC. I'm not saying I'm old. I'm just saying that was at the time. And, I looked at, at UCF, my buddy Mackenzie Milton was injured that year. And they said, there's open competition. So I was like, let's go do it.
Yeah. You had a couple good years at UCF. Were you injured?
I did my third year.
Your third year before you hit the portal, right?
Yep. I got injured that third game against Louisville.
Talk about that. Was there a lot of doubt creeping in on coming back from the injury, being able to, move on, put another season together?
Yeah, I think it was my first injury in college, real injury. Like I had fractured my collarbone, which I'd done in high school. Kind of one of those lizard deals where you just kind of let it heal back up and then, get the strength back. But I think at the time I was so, fixated and set on, maybe this could be the year to, go and do it, right? And I think God has a great way of kind of keeping you present and humbling you, but also just kind of the storm I needed right in that time period of my life. And I think it changed the trajectory of my life as well. Just seeing life in a different perspective, being sidelined for the first time and in my career, playing as a freshman in high school on varsity, playing all 4 years, and then end up starting again at UCF as a freshman. So that third year, I feel like just gave me a different perspective and really changed my outlook on just being a good teammate in a different way. And I think that's helped me, all up until this point.
When did you know you were going to hit the portal?
I had a clue kind of like that last 2 weeks of the season. When I got injured, I was just focused on getting healthy and trying to get strength back. And then I remember talking with my family, like, hey, what are we going to do? Like, what's kind of the next step? And I hadn't really thought about it. And just as that season went on, I just felt like, I wanted to be challenged. I wanted to try something new and be in an offense that could potentially push me to continue to get better.
How did Oklahoma grab you?
Another crazy story. So, definitely recruiting stories. I've got a bunch of them. But coming out of UCF, when I was transferring, I visited Ole Miss, where my OC, prior OC at UCF, Coach Levy, was at. He went to Ole Miss after my first year at UCF. Then after that visit, I felt like I was going to go to Ole Miss, but Coach Levy ended up going to Oklahoma. When that happened, took a visit to UCLA, and at the time really loved it, and wanted to make it happen. So I ended up pulling the trigger and committing to UCLA. As that time went on,
gets himself in the situations.
As that time went on, though, we just had conversations, and I just really wanted to know what I was walking into, not knowing if DTR was coming back or not. The quarterback room kind of had like a kind of unknown. And I was telling Coach, hey, I just want to know what's kind of going on, what I'm walking into. They couldn't clarify that and, kind of keep it upfront and honest, which is totally fine. I just, kind of
you wanted some more clarity.
More clarity, yeah. and kind of just know what you're walking into. I think that is not much to ask, but kind of up until that last date, January 3rd is when school started, and I was supposed to be on a flight. Coach Levy ended up calling me January 2nd and just said, Boomer, and I'm like, what do you mean, Coach? And I don't know, after that, I ended up not taking the flight, not jumping into class, and then I was a Sooner. So
he was a Sooner. So. Is that coach still there?
He is not. Now he's at the head coach at Mississippi State.
Okay. Is that the reason you jumped in the portal again and you end up here?
It is.
Talk about that recruiting story.
So another time, I think, just God has been able to keep me present. Is I was, again, fixated on the NFL, and like, this is my last year. I had a very, I guess, clear vision of what I was going to do. But
you're saying play at Oklahoma for a year and then go to the next level. Okay.
Yes. And when that happened, I think everyone was under the same impression, right? The school, players, coaches, all that. So the preparation prior to that, I think, was the same for everyone. So going into that season, I felt like, we were doing damn good. We had 2 bumps in the road that definitely, affected us, for the college football playoffs. But up into that last 2 games, again, where kind of conversations start to happen, I got my draft grade back, which was 7th round undrafted. And I was like, dang, I felt like in all, categories of whatever quarterback play it could be, I felt like I was top 5. And I guess that's what I was presented. And when I got that, 7th round undrafted, I was like, I couldn't sleep at night knowing I had extra year that I could maximize and get better and have a guaranteed year of football, right? And I don't want to say guaranteed, but at least another year to play. And I just wanted to maximize that. And like I said, with everyone having that preparation of me not being back there for another year, I just felt like it was right and something that, I was excited about. Transferring is not easy, but it's just kind of how my journey went.
And do you, with Coach going to Mississippi State, was that, if he had stayed, would you say that you'd still be at Oklahoma? Or everything was just kind of like you were saying, the preparation was around you leaving, so it almost just felt like the end of the chapter anyway?
I think it was a mixture.
Okay.
I think it was a mixture. I guess we'll never know, right, if he did stay. But, I think it was the perfect storm of where I needed to be. And, the path that God has set out for me, I just trusted it. And, I'm here now, and shoot, it's a big blessing. So.
How was the psyche when you get the draft grade of 7th undrafted? Because I'm assuming, you're excited about something, you're preparing for something, and then to see something that's kind of like below what you thought it might be. Take us through those moments.
I mean, I understand it. It's the facts. So I'm not going to, when I'm presented that, I feel like, that's just what it is, right?
Right.
And whether I like it or not, that's the facts. And, I had to live with it and make a decision based off of that. And shoot, it's not the best feeling. I think when as a player, you produce and, put your play on the field, I feel like your confidence and what you put out there is something that you are proud of, and want to, or not proud of, right?
Yeah.
But I think that, when I got that back, it was disappointing, but also I went straight to making a decision and live with it.
How'd you identify Oregon as being the right place for you?
3 things, offensive fit, guys around me, and then just being able to win. I want to be in the big games, big time moments. And at this point in my career, I just feel like winning's everything. That's all I want. How can I serve my teammates in the best way and lead and bring, that positive energy every day, and I feel like everything we have here is top notch.
Right.
And,
living
you
guys
off the
got
land.
some nice facilities.
Yeah, living off the land is real.
Yeah.
And then talent isn't, our issue. It's going to be putting it all together and seeing, how well we can connect and execute at a high level. I think every team that's done it and won has done those 2 things.